Marvel stuff breaking. Thunderbolts release. Update 25. Marvel. Let's see what this is all about. Check this out.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka All Fires. Now, today is July 20th, which means it's the kickoff for San Diego Comic-Con 23.
Yep.
And I have to admit, as I read that in the headline this morning, I felt a twinge of disappointment knowing that this Saturday there will be no Marvel Studios Hall H. But that disappointment really is a fraction in comparison to what's going on for the entire actors community right now. And on top of that, what's going on with the restaurants and the rest of the economy that are built around those actors who are not at work. It's impacting a lot of people in a negative way. And so when we wish for a speedy resolution, that is to say, we wish for the actors to get a deal that takes care of them, gives them everything they need, and so all of these people can go back to work. It's only secondary that we want to get back to movies and presentations. That said, we do want to get back to movies and presentations, and the longer the strike goes, the further out a lot of those things will be. But today we've got an industry insider with an update about a Marvel Studios film that was set to release next year, but he was hearing might not have been able to do so even before the actors went on strike. We're going to break down the latest for the new Marvel slate and then talk about just briefly what it might look like over the next 12 to 14 months, given, again, this strike has no ending in sight. We're breaking it down, everything, the Thunderbolts latest release update. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you in our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with the release of Secret Invasion's finale. It's literally less than a week away. All you got to do, again, be a sub, leave a comment if you want, stick around at the end of the video, we'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so today's update actually is coming from trusted industry insider and someone we've reported on quite often at the channel, just not recently, Charles Murphy. He has his own editorial over at Murphy's Multiverse. He tweeted out that, quote, even pre-SAG strike, I heard the chances of Thunderbolts making that December 2024 release date weren't good. Had heard that January 2024 was the starting of filming, so I had already sort of pushed it to 2025 in my mind. Things certainly have not improved on that front. Now, last we heard from Marvel Studios, they had shuffled next year's release slate, moving Deadpool and Wolverine up to the May date, pushing Captain America Brave New World to the summer, and then moving Thunderbolts from the summer release date to the end of the year. Now we're hearing that regardless of what happens with the end of the strike, they're not planning on picking up the production for that until after the first of the year anyway. It was less than 60 days ago over on Deadline when Justin Kroll dropped the headline, Marvel pushes pause on Thunderbolts production due to the writer's strike. Remember, it was confirmed when there's a writer's strike in, they can't sort of do any rewrites on set, and for some of these Marvel movies, as we all know, for better or for worse, that's their bread and butter as far as ad-libbing dialogue and changing the story multiple times while they're in the middle of shooting. So they went ahead and pulled the plug on the Thunderbolts months ago. They let the crew know about 3 weeks before filming started. They didn't let anybody come to work. That's quite different than what they did with Deadpool and Wolverine, where they actually probably, I don't want to say rushed, but sent it to filming and went ahead and got some of those intro scenes done for what we think is them fighting in the void. So definitely two very different MOs as far as Marvel Studios and how they wanted to go about this, but they didn't rush everything else to keep filming up until the actors strike. There were several other projects like Daredevil, Born Again, and Wonder Man that actually shut down during the writer's strike as well, and I think it's not just because of them needing access to rewrites, but also because of the picket lines and everything that was going on in Hollywood. So right now, Marvel Studios delayed Blade, never started filming as it was supposed to this year, did the same thing with Thunderbolts. Started on Daredevil and Wonder Man and were not able to finish either, and obviously put Deadpool 3 into about a week or two of production before they pulled the plug on that. Now looking forward to 2024, obviously it doesn't matter whether or not Thunderbolts was going to make a December release date. If the actor strike continues to go much longer, they're going to get so far behind on all of these productions, there won't be a chance for them to release, which at least for right now makes it seem like we may be sitting in a huge gap that's sort of a delayed void, pun totally intended, from the fact that nothing is filming right now. Basically, as we head into 2024, after the Marvel's releases, unless Marvel Studios has anything finished in the way of, say, like the Ironheart series, at least for major motion pictures, we might not see Deadpool 3 and Wolverine released until summer or late fall of next year. And again, all of this ends up being pretty moot until the actors have resolved this and everybody can go back to work. Now, in the meantime, that brings me to my final thought, and I've thought quite a bit about this in the last couple of days. when we started to see what was hitting Disney Plus in the way of WandaVision, some of the other films that they had coming out from Marvel Studios, there were a lot of, well, just blame it on the pandemic. We weren't able to do this, we weren't able to do that, we weren't able to include a storyline in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Those productions noticeably suffered because of what Marvel Studios had to do to sort of rush them, to finish them in face of what was going on with the pandemic at the time. I surely hope they do not do that with the current Marvel content they're working on.
Mm-hmm.
And as evidence of them not doing it, I'm sort of trying to point out a positive here. They were willing to shut down Daredevil. They were willing to shut down Wonder Man. You may say it's some sort of moral or ethical concern, again, for what was happening in Hollywood. It may be something to do with the picket lines, but from my point of view, I think they knew they needed to be able to do rewrites, the kind of rewrites they need when the writers aren't on strike, regardless of whether or not the actors were there pre-SAG strike, and they just weren't willing to let the production suffer in the way that they would have if they had to stick to the script and weren't able to let anybody ad-lib. When I heard they were going to press forward on Deadpool 3 and Wolverine, and because Ryan Reynolds was listed as a writer and the writers were on strike, he himself wouldn't be able to ad-lib, that did not sound like a positive for Deadpool and Wolverine. We know Ryan Reynolds can be at his funniest if there's improv. You can't shoot that movie with the two of them and not allow it. I think it's pretty obvious now that they went for that major outside action sequence that they were doing two things. Number one, they were trying to drum up some hype going into the SAG strike, leave us with something to be excited for. And number two, trying to push through an action sequence so while there was a bunch of downtime, they could at least let VFX artists start working on that. That being said, Marvel Studios does have a bunch of content they delayed from this year, including animated shows. We've also got Ironheart. Echo is still set to be dumped on Disney Plus all at once at the end of the year. I will be surprised if it's not, but they could also sandbag that and move it just another couple of months later to sort of fill in that void I'm talking about for 2024. Regardless, I don't care how long we have to go without Marvel content on Disney Plus or a movie. I think we would all just prefer they take their time, and considering the fact that Daredevil and Wonder Man were shut down during the writer's strike, even before the actors went on strike, if SAG-AFTRA is able to strike a deal but the writers are not, don't expect those Marvel Studios Disney Plus series to resume shooting until the writer's strike is done. So really, we're hoping that this can happen in solidarity amongst both guilds, and so when these unions do end up striking deals, everybody can go back to work the way they want to. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. What are you thinking about the upcoming slate? And if you had to see some of these Marvel projects go, I mean, full out canceled, what would be first for you on your list? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but man, for some of these films or TV shows or series or franchises, whatever you want to call them, for stuff like Armor Wars, it was at least both at one point, or maybe even Blade, these are lingering from announcements in 2019, and it looks like it'll be 2024 or even 2025 before they're even starting production on some of them. Literally 6 years later. Sort of crazy to say, and yet still no Avengers title. Let me know all your thoughts down below quickly. Let's get into giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, still giving away PlayStation 5s. The next milestone is a week away to coincide with the finale of Secret Invasion. It is next Tuesday. If you want to be entered to win, super simple. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, under the name All Fires and Wall. I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out. Thanks for checking the channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.
Please subscribe, like this video. Have a great day, and see you guys abroad.